Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope all of you guys are doing well, and today I actually have a very special guest, so could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am Donny from the Donny Productions YouTube channel. I actually half stole the name from this channel, so cheers. Subscribe to me, please. I'm begging.
Yeah, he still owes me loads of royalty fees, but moving on. Today we are going to be ranking every single Five Nights at Freddy's game based on how scary we think they are. Okay, so starting off with where it all began. Back in 2014, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 1.
We are indeed FNAF 1. I mean, I think for me that this is it's gonna have to be very up there. I mean, FNAF
Oh,
1 in
definitely.
terms of scare factor, it's got to be one of the best in the series, like surely, because I mean, especially considering it's like the first time that you've ever actually seen anything from this genre. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing like really similar to it at the time. So like it, and plus the ambience is top notch in this game. I mean, like it's so good. It does an amazing job at making you feel so uncomfortable, and it just really gives off that uncanny dark vibe that the game was going for. So, what are your thoughts?
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you, especially on the thought about atmosphere, because I think the only game that kind of matches it with atmosphere is probably FNAF 4, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Other than
I
that,
agree.
I
Yeah,
think it's kind of superior in that regard. The jump scares, just everything about it, very uncanny. It's probably one of the darker games in the franchise, even though
yeah.
it's literally the first one. I think, I mean, definitely up there, S or A, around that ballpark.
I I think it's I think considering the other games, I think it's probably got to be S.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say S.
think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
us. The first time, well, the first time I didn't even play the game, I watched it on YouTube and I was so scared that I couldn't even download it myself. I had to watch other people play it.
All
Alright.
right. I think it'd probably be best if we go in order. So if we go to FNAF 2 next, regardless of the, I don't know why they ordered it like that's very random, isn't it?
Yeah, with all these tier makers, they always order them in weird ways. But anyway, now we have Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
All right. You know, I'll let you start your thoughts about this one because I think I haven't. I don't know if I have a. I don't think it's exactly an unpopular opinion, but I'm interested to hear what you think.
Basically, for me, it's mechanics, 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 and because of that, I just don't think it's one of the scarier games in the franchise, personally. Sure, the withered animatronics do have that spooky vibes around them, but all in all, especially the toy animatronics, like, come on, Toy Bunny, he's not exactly a very scary man, is he? Or
Toy Freddy especially, like my man was on the pizzas too much, bro. That he is chunky.
he's a
That man is
big,
chunky.
chubby boy.
He
Toy
is.
Freddy, Toy Bunny as well. I mean, Chica maybe with her beak off, but then again, just not very scary at all.
Yeah, I mean, Toy Chica's better known for anything else, anything other than being scary. If you know, I'm
Yeah, as
and, quite the interesting reaction with Toy Chica. Okay, for me, I want to say that I think FNAF 2, I think the horror more comes from the stress of and how chaotic it is, compared to because obviously FNAF 1 is more tension and like general like horror, but I think FNAF 2 it becomes more like scary because of the pure amount of chaos that's going on, and it's just generally stressful trying to cope with everything. So, but I think even then, it's not as scary as one. I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to even being as scary as one, to be honest. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd put it in the lower end. I think I might put it just bang in the middle. I would say B probably for me personally. But if you
I think
have
that's
any,
fair enough. Because
yeah,
before I talked about how focusing loads on the mechanics doesn't make it scary in a way, but then
yeah,
again, it kind of does make it more scary. Always
yeah.
focusing on the mechanics, because the jump scares will be a lot more unpredictable.
Yeah, it could catch you more because you have to get like a lot more like indulged like in the game. You know what I mean? You have to be like, but yeah, no, like I said, I think the horror for me comes from just the stress of the game compared to a game like FNAF 1, trying to juggle all the animatronics and everything like that.
That's
But
true.
yeah, no, I would say it seems like we both agree. I think B is a pretty fair placement for FNAF 2.
Okay, now moving on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Very infamous game for a lot of people. Lots of mixed opinions on this one. But let's just focus on how scary the game is.
Yeah. Um, You know, I'm gonna lead off this one, right? And I am certain that this is probably right probably one of the most devious FNAF opinions that I have, right? Okay, I think this is the type of thing that could actually like some people will like be on my ass for this one, right? Okay, um, I personally think, right, that FNAF FNAF 3, right? I don't find this game scary. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna come out and say it, right. You can like obviously you can agree 100%, and I'm expecting you to disagree with me, to be honest. But I don't like this game to begin with, to be fair. So that definitely contributes to it. But I just don't get the atmosphere for this game. Like I don't feel scared. Like because I know that like the concept is scary. It's literally the killer behind everything, who started everything in this franchise, right? Coming to hunt you down in this broken down, worn down, like horror attraction, where you're literally having to use, like, you're in a survival situation where you're having to be using these broken down cameras and audio systems that are supposed to be scaring visitors to the place. But it just, in concept, like in actual execution, it just doesn't do it for me, to be honest. I mean, like when I see Springtrap chilling outside my office, I don't think, oh no, and get scared. I think, oh, for God's sakes, I'm gonna have to restart this bloody night now, because it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the whole vibe of this game. I hate the whole like the green atmosphere. It's just I don't.
Yeah,
I get
I don't understand the green atmosphere. I think it just looks like really dirty and weird instead of creepy. Like,
yeah.
they could have gone with any other color scheme and it would have been a lot different.
Yeah, no. So I just it's not all that for me personally, but I already don't like the game to begin with. It's my least favorite out of the original like 6. I would say this is my least favorite out of them. So I'm already biased, and I will admit I am definitely biased when it comes to this. So I'm interested to hear what you think, because I have very strong feelings about this game. But what are your thoughts about this?
Personally, I think it's the least scariest FNAF game there is, easily, in my opinion. I think even Security Breach has more of a frightening factor to it, just because, simply put, the jump scares are horrendous. Especially the Springtrap one is just horrible.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I feel like the whole mechanic of the phantoms sort of desensitizes you. I don't know if I even said that right, but you know what I'm going on about. To jump scares to begin with, because you just see them constantly, so you just don't care about them anymore. And the phantom, compared to Springtrap, the phantom jump scares are so much better. So when you then eventually see the jump scare of him literally stepping in the room to look at you, you're just like, what? This is a joke. Like, what is going on?
I don't, because all the other animatronics, like, they probably get in your face, right? But Springtrap, bro, is like an old man. He just has a little leisurely walk to your office and then just looks at you. No, he literally looks away from the wall into your face. That's all he does. That's all the jump scare is.
Yeah, he just steps in. He for all we know, he could have gone and walked in and been like, "You right, mate?" and you just died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Bro literally could have said anything, but no. And it's such wasted potential, in my opinion, because you see at the menu of FNAF 3, you can see him like flickering with his mask on and off.
Yeah.
If they could do something with that in the actual jump scare, that would make it so much more terrifying. Like, they have so much. Scott had lots of creative freedom of how Springtrap works, but
yeah,
the way he did it is just.
Well, I will say, right, the only thing that will say is actually pretty scary in this game is the rare Easter egg screens where you press new game or press continue, and you get like there's like a really rare chance that you get like see like a screen of him with his mask completely pulled back, and you see like the corpse inside of him. Yeah. That can catch you off guard, because it's not like very rare. It's not very often that happens, so that can catch you off guard. But other than that, yeah, no, no. It ain't it, Chief.
Yeah, it is not it.
Although I personally, I wouldn't say it's the least in the entire, least scary in the entire franchise, and really? I think that's where it's interesting, on one of the games that is coming up at some point, because I think we're going to have an interesting debate about this game.
That is interesting.
Okay, now we're on to FNAF 4 then.
FNAF 4. I think it's on par with the first one, honestly. The atmosphere is really good. The first time, well, the first couple of times I played it, even nowadays, it still like scares me, which usually doesn't happen with these type of games. But it's just really well made. Putting that aside, it's made to scare you. I think out of all the FNAF games, it's probably the most like horror, if you get what I mean.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm quite the enjoyer of this game. I mean, I made a video on it that done very well for me. I think it's one of my most viewed videos on the channel. It was how FNAF 4
It should be. It's like 4 or 5K around, I think.
I think it was at 6. It's at 6 at the moment or something like that, I think. But yeah, no, that video I obviously talk about it more. But the ambience is like so good in that game. Like, it's so well, and it builds tension the whole time, and you are worried at any time, because to play it properly you have to have your volume loud, and
Yeah,
obviously you know what that's going to mean. That if that equates to any jump scares, you are absolutely done. Like, that's it, because your ears are about to get absolutely annihilated, and plus it does scare the absolute life out of you. Like, it's so definitely I would say it's up there with FNAF 1. I would agree with you. I would say it's S tier, to be honest. I would say that. I think it is on par, but if you agree, then yeah, it is great. Ambience is amazing, and the fact, like I said, the fact that the whole gameplay revolves around using your audio and your ears, and like the visual element is taken completely away from you, is terrifying. Like, you have to rely on like hearing but not seeing it. It is unreal. Yeah, no, that is terrifying. S tier definitely for me.
Next up, we have FNAF 5, the pizza simulator.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
To be fair, right, I've never really. I think Pizza Sim is the only FNAF game that I haven't beaten. I've never really sat down to properly understand the mechanics, which means this game is terrifying for me. Absolutely terrifying for me, because I don't really understand how it works. I just know that when they're in your vent, you need to like look down the thing, like down the vent, like shine your light down it to stop them entering. But it's just, I don't know what it is. It seems so simple, but so this game for me personally is terrifying, because the gameplay is, like I said, I mean, it's quite very easy to be scared when you just don't understand what's going on. So I would say that is very. This game is pretty scary, but for me personally, I would say A, because I don't think it's as on par as 1 and 4. Because if I knew the gameplay, like if I knew properly how to play the game, I would probably say it's not as scary as those
I would
two.
say I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think.
What are your thoughts on Pizza Sim then?
Another banger FNAF game. I think I played a decent amount of it a couple of months ago. I really liked the introduction part where you kind of, with Scrap Baby, you have to do the whole note-taking thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrifying, the responses to the noises and sounds.
And plus the way it cuts as well, because it was...
It's like, innocent. It's a little 8-bit pizza sim where you just deliver pizza to customers.
And no one other than Scott knew that was that it was going to be FNAF 6. Everyone with FNAF 6 even. Yeah, that's FNAF 6. You put in a little bit of the wrong order, but because this location came after.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, yeah. FNAF, no one knew it was going to be FNAF 6, because Scott was really tight-lipped about the whole thing and didn't say anything. Didn't say anything other than it was going to be Pizza Sim. And that's why even still on the Steam page to this day, it's still only called Pizza Sim, and all the screenshots are only of the first little section of the game where that's what
makes it amazing.
Exactly, because no one was expecting it. I don't know if you've ever seen Dorco's reaction to it, but he absolutely lost his mind. And it was, it's so iconic. It's amazing. That alone does make, that was terrifying. Just the way that all comes around, yeah. But in terms of actual, like gameplay, and everything, ambience, everything like that, it's A, definitely A. It's really good, but not on par with 1 or 4, in my opinion.
I think similar to what makes FNAF 4 quite terrifying, you can't actually close the vents or doors or anything. It's just a huge gaping black hole in front of you, where even if you shine down your torch, you still can't see the end of it. And you're completely relying on this crappy old computer that is pretty much only good for printing out cups and whatever. And that's your only saving grace. That's the only thing to defend yourself with. Look left or right, turn the ventilation on. As you said before, very simple, but because of how unsurprising it is, how surprising it is. Makes it effective.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. No, so A tier, definitely. Alright, this is where I think we're going to have an interesting conversation. I'll let you start off. What are your thoughts on FNAF sister location, FNAF 5?
I think it's pretty scary, especially if you play it by yourself.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's the same for all of them, but I think especially this one, because I think both of us will agree this is more of an experience rather than a really replayable normal FNAF game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, completely agree with you there.
Because of that, watching it through a playthrough would alter your experience dramatically than if you were to play it by yourself, since it is an experience. So if you take that into regard and you just play it without really having too much of an idea around it, I would say it's probably on par with A tier, Scariness. Pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay. All right. Okay. This is where I get threats in the comments, and people start leaking my IP address, and I get doxxed. No, but seriously, Okay. All right. So, if we're talking about it from a strictly first playthrough, right? I would say, yeah, it is decently scary, right? But if we, like we said, it's more of an experience compared to the other games, rather than like, it's very different to the other games, because like you usually have a gameplay loop, but you just don't have that at all with Sister Location. It's very, very different, very story orientated, and more of an experience, as you said. So, coming back to FNAF Sister Location, you really start to realize that there are so many sections in this game that are purely scripted, and that so takes away all the horror of so many of the parts that could have been scary on your first playthrough, such as when you're crawling through Ballora Gallery, the points where the music actually starts to appear, like depending on where you are in the Ballora Gallery, like where like the music appears and you have to stop moving, it's scripted. It's at the same place every single time. Even the thing where she does a little twirl in front of you, it's scripted. It's set in the code that when you reach a certain point in the room, that happens. It's not an actual gameplay mechanic. Like, if you know what I mean. It's different compared to...
Yeah, it's not randomized code, so...
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't adapt on the spot, it's just continuously the same. If you
There's
play
that.
over 1,000,000 times.
There's that, and there's also the section where at the end of one of the nights, I'm pretty sure, you know, you have to crawl through a vent, like, to get in and out of the elevator.
Yeah.
In one of the sections, you're in the vent, and you can start hearing, like, there's banging sounds on the vent, like as if something's, like, punching at it, right? You could sit in that vent for literally forever and nothing happens. Like, I feel like that's just, like, that really takes away from it. Like, stuff like that, and I'm mentioning these parts because, I don't know if you've actually seen the video. I know I've mentioned it to you before, but Arya made a very infamous video called I Hate Sister Location, or I Do Not Like Sister Location. It's over an hour long.
I think I did watch like a bit of it, but I got a little bit salty just because I liked the game, so I don't think I watched the whole thing. But
yeah, but I agree. After watching that video, I do really agree with a lot of the things that he was saying in that video, because it's very true. Because for some people, like, that can say that this is their favorite game, they might have never even played the game, because it's a very, I mean, like you said that like if you see someone else play the game, it like hinders your experience, but it's like it's very much like a playthrough type of game compared to the other ones, because it's more of the experience. And some people can see someone else play the game and be like, oh, this game looks amazing, but when you go and play it yourself, it's just not. The only scary, like really scary part that I can understand, because it's not scripted, is the secret ending on night 5, where if you go into the private room and you're in like a typical FNAF 1 situation where you have to try and keep Ennard out, and the power is really, really tight, so you need to literally watch all of your movements to make sure that you don't end up messing anything up and stuff like that. That is scary, but compared to other stuff, when you start to realize all the scripted moments and stuff like that, it's just really not as scary as it is on the first playthrough. So for me personally, this I would say that probably that sister location in terms of like actual like ones that are trying like FNAF games that are trying to be scary within the main franchise. I would say it's the least scary. That's my devious FNAF opinion. I believe
Least
it's
scariest.
scary
Wow.
in the franchise. I would say that.
Or even behind FNAF 3. That's.
I would say yeah. I would say even behind FNAF 3. I would say it. Yeah.
This is why I like videos like this. The room starts getting hot.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna have to come down to your house and you're gonna like drop by. You're gonna like.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Next video is gonna be me and Donny Productions scrapping outside of a little. So if you want to go and see that,
boxing fight confirmed. Boxing fight happening in on February the 10th. Yeah, come and buy your pay-per-view tickets.
I mean, this was enough. This was enough to starve to honestness. What can I say?
It is. Yeah, that's it. Boxing fight on the way. The training is already underway. We planned it before this video. Yeah, but okay. So this is where it's interesting because, in your opinion, like completely disregarding my opinion, where would you rank it on the tier list?
I'd say A.
That's very interesting because I would say D.
Yeah, so we don't exactly have a middle ground there. But.
Yeah, there's not much of a middle ground there. You know, I'm willing to compromise for your sake down to B, even though I don't personally agree with it.
I think B is good. I can go with B.
I can semi-accept B, but I could never put it in A. I could never accept that, to be honest. But B, I can compromise. I think that's fine.
I think we can agree to disagree. Pop it in there.
There we go. Alright, well, this one's interesting, because it's not exactly meant to be a scary game, is it?
Once again, it's different from one of the main lines.
That's why I see it. That's why I see it differently, and that's why when I said about sister location being the least scary out of the games that are trying to be scary, I didn't include UCN in that because it's not exactly trying to be a scary game, is it? Although the story, like, sort of revolving around Ultimate Custom Night is pretty terrifying when you think about it. I'm pretty sure it's William literally being trapped in purgatory by the Night Marion, and like the stuff like that. He's literally being trapped in a purgatory to endlessly die over and over and over and over again.
Some of the jump scares are pretty good, just because like there's a ridiculous amount of them. And similar with FNAF 2, you focus so much on the mechanics, you can definitely get caught lacking or whatever.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that Mr. Hippo's jump scare is the scariest in the whole franchise, though.
I think most influential one, to be honest, most significant jump scare in FNAF.
Yeah, most story relevant, scariest. You know what I mean? Mr. Hippo, he really takes the cake in terms of being the scariest animatronic in the entire franchise.
Now, I don't know about you, but I would say it's around a C area. Maybe D.
I would say D, just based on the fact it's not meant to be scary. Like, Scott didn't make that game and think, oh, well, look at what we're whipping up here. We're gonna really make him jump with this one. He just went, screw it, slam all the animatronics you can into this one game, and it's just funny.
It's genius from the man. I mean, it's like a massive hub of content you can make from it. Like pretty much infinite content from Ultimate Custom Night.
Exactly.
Genius.
I'm convinced that his motive for making the game was funny. I'm convinced that was his reasoning.
This bad boy came out, and for months and months, FNAF was still relevant on YouTube just because of how many different challenges and whatever you could do with it.
And plus, 50-20 as well was unreal. And
that was a mad. It was like the arms race, but in FNAF instead. You could reach it first.
Dorko's reaction to that will forever be iconic. It's absolutely amazing. Like, you know, Dorko's actually such a nice guy. Like, you know, I won't lie. Sometimes it's funny to like see his reactions. Like, you know what I mean? Like when he starts absolutely going mental. Some of them are quite funny, but he clearly loves the franchise so much, and you gotta be happy for him. Tons
of passion.
Yeah, I love that guy. Big up Dorko, man.
Great FNAF YouTuber.
Yeah, he's quality.
Well, guys, we are down to the last two. excluding FNAF World, because we all know that would be S tier, so we
No,
didn't include it.
it wouldn't. It'd be like S plus to be honest.
Mm.
FNAF World would absolutely annihilate any other games, so that's why we didn't include it to be honest.
Well, Help Wanted. Interestingly enough, I've never played the game. In fact, I've barely even really watched a playthrough on it, to be honest with you. It's the FNAF game I know least about.
Alright, so it's just gonna basically be my opinion on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I haven't played all too much of it to be honest, but it is actually pretty scary to be fair. You know, the animatronics actually look huge, and you know me, I'm like 6'5", you know what I mean? So it's so even on me, big man like 6'5", you know what I mean? Yeah, I am huge. I'm built as well. I'm hench mate. All right, yeah. Anyways, yeah, like I said, like 6'5", right? Even these animatronics, they're huge, mate. You put on the VR headset, right, and you're having to look up to see them. It's unreal. They're so big, and oh no, it is terrifying. If anything, any horror game in VR, if done well, is actually terrifying. It is very scary. I'd say slap it an 8.
All right, 8. There we go.
And here we go. This is an interesting thing.
It is.
I shall let you start off with this one.
Wow, put me on the spot. I don't really have many thought up on this, but
yeah.
Well, I think right off the bat, one of the less scarier games in the franchise.
Yeah. I wouldn't exactly say that's a controversial opinion.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of people weren't exactly too happy when it came out, just because of that. Obviously aiming for a much younger demographic.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely tell.
So just based off that, I mean, I guess another thing that doesn't make it scary at all really is that it doesn't actually introduce anything new, if you know what I'm saying. Like, sure it's open world, and FNAF has never been open world, but in terms of the horror aspect of it and the jump scares and whatever, it's not like Pizza Sim or some other games like Assist Location or Help Wanted, where it kind of puts you in a completely different place compared to the other game. This is again just, you know, stay out of the animatronic sight and don't get jump scared. There's no further, I guess, mechanic or whatever beyond it.
The amount of times that you end up probably dying in this game, really, I mean, the jump scares aren't scary to begin with.
Yeah, the jump scares aren't very good. Like,
they suck.
There's literally a Vanessa one where she like shakes around a flashlight in front of your face or something.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how that got through.
The white woman jump scare.
Yeah, that's...
You know, there's a white woman any percent speed run on Security Breach.
Really?
It's basically just a speed run to get jump scared by Vanessa, or the white woman as it's classed. As it's that was terrible. Even the Vanny jump scare is terrible. She just picks you up and then her face slowly moves towards your face. It's considering she's meant to be one of the main antagonists in the game, you hardly see her as well. She does nothing in the game.
Yeah, I love the fact in the trailers, like in the 2-minute trailer, 1 minute 30 was all about Vanny, but in the game it's like 5% Vanny. I love that.
She probably gets more screen time in trailers than she does the actual game.
Definitely. The only part that caught me lacking was the endo bit, just because I had to like concentrate decently hard to not get killed there. Oh
yeah, endos, and I'd say the daycare. The first time I played the daycare got me for the first few deaths, but after a while it just really frustrated me because that's when I started realizing that he was just teleporting everywhere, and I would die because he just teleported.
That takes away from the immersion so bad for me. The whole teleportation thing.
Yeah, it kills it. I hate the search bots as well. They kill the game. You know what I mean? You get seen by a search bot, you turn around, she just stood right behind you now. It's just so stupid. So dumb.
Also, I don't know why the search bots themselves jump scare you. I think that's like such a waste of time.
Increases like the amount like you're actually screwed by as well. Considering like if they actually jump scare you, you know they don't do it all the time, but when they do, you're just guaranteed dead pretty much at that point because by that time they would have really spawned like Roxy or something behind you, and when they put you down, you're just dead. Yeah,
they're rapid as well. The only time I think you can outrun them is when you have like full stamina, but apart from that, you're screwed. You can't even hide anywhere else to like peer in, get your ass anyway.
I'd say. You know, I actually don't even know where to put this. I feel like we should just make another tier just called Security Breach and just put it there because I feel like, you know, I said okay, I said Sister Location the least scary out of the franchise. I only really count the first 6 games because I don't really count Security Breach as I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's kind of its own entity, isn't it?
it is, yeah. So I'd say probably just put in the Security Breach tier. Just yeah, add a row, and we can just call it Security Breach. Or just, yeah, SB, or whatever works. Yeah, Security Breach.
There we go.
Just put it there. Well, there we go. That actually comes out really nicely, actually. We've got 2 in each tier, except Security Breach, which, you know, is, it's
it's just a bit of a weirdo, a bit of a loner, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it is a bit strange, to be honest.
And in all fairness, Scott, while he did have some create, I don't think it was mainly steel wool. So I don't think Scott really developed much of it. He just kind of helped.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's not really that much of a true game of the franchise.
Yeah, it's not a true Scott game, or at least that's what we're taking. Just let us cope, guys. That the game isn't all that good. Just please, we're not coping. We're not coping, please.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is the tier list. So, what are your thoughts after this?
I think D tier and S tier both perfectly acceptable with the choices.
Yeah.
Obviously A as well, gone nicely. Security Breach can just, stay down there. Don't need to talk about that.
You can stay in Security Breach.
FNAF 2 is exactly where it should be. And Sister Location, I think subjective, or else we'll be here for another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, that is very interesting, and I think that is probably. I will agree. I can. That is probably the most devious FNAF opinion that I have. Definitely, I reckon that is probably the worst of it. So yeah, please don't crucify me in the comments. I wouldn't like. Actually, no, please do. It's more engagement.
It'll be funny.
Crucify me in the comments. It'll be funny and more engagement. Please do. Please tell me I'm an idiot. Comment it 5 times, actually. Comment it 5 times on each of the accounts that you have. Just more engagement. Please do it. We want engagement, please.
Guys, if you comment crucify Donny Productions 5 times, there's actually a chance you'll be entered into a giveaway where I gift you Sister Location. So make sure you do that, guys.
Oh, God. Well, there we go. Are there any? Well, I mean, we pretty much just gave an overview. So I guess this is the end of this video. If you want to hear more of my devious FNAF opinions and you don't hate me that much after hearing my opinions, my link will be in the description. I have a channel of my own, Donny Productions.
It will be down below. I just need to make sure to remember.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, and I'll see you guys in another video in the future. Goodbye.
Right, cheers, G.